Hey, this is Lucia aka Živa, and you're listening to Serial Music Talks, a podcast where I sit down with niche musicians and sound artists based in Melbourne to talk about the real challenges we face in the industry, whether it's the creative process, identity, social media, dread, or just the question of whether it's even possible to be a full-time artist in Melbourne. And for this 2026 season, I'm also spotlighting venues across Melbourne that are run by local musicians and enthusiasts who are actively supporting the local scene. For this February episode, I sat down with Fetle Vondimonega, aka Nu, an Ethiopian-Australian sound artist, vocalist, and live coder whose work blends non-Western musical traditions, improvisation, and Afrofuturism. We actually met in a very special venue called Trainscendence that's tucked away in the heart of Collingwood. And it's not just any venue or a studio or just a gallery, a co-working space. It's actually a living hub for artists, makers, dreamers, and doers. Fetla, welcome. Welcome to Serial Music Talks, but to a venue called Trainscendence. Nice. So we're like literally on top of a building in Collingwood.
Crazy, and there's a train carriage.
There are few trains around us. It's crazy, right?
It's really nice. I like this venue.
Yeah, I like it too. That's why we're here today. I feel like it's a nice day, a bit overcast, but it's not. I think we would die if it's like sunny.
This is how I prefer it, to be honest.
Yeah?
Gentle light, you know?
Oh, okay.
Instead of sun shining in my eyes.
I'm still learning what is the best, I Google because I'm not a film video person.
Sure.
So I was like, what is the best time of day to film? But then sometimes you just can't. You're busy, and I'm incredibly grateful that you could find time. Like, I know that you are just about to start your live coding workshop at MES.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but also you just had a screening of the film you've made, A Being, of course, at the Coburg Drive-In Cinema. Yeah? Right? With Kalu Oji, if I said it right.
Yeah, correct.
So really busy here, and it's only February.
I know.
How are you feeling? How did the screening go?
It went really well. Like it premiered in Sydney, so I went up to Sydney, but unfortunately I couldn't make it to the drive-in.
Okay.
But I heard really good things, and it's been really nice. It's my first time ever like scoring something, but I guess like I make ambient stuff, so it makes sense,
True.
Filmy ambience, I don't know.
But you also scored because I've seen, like, you said it that it's your first time, but I've also seen some of your earlier work for Signal, for City of Melbourne.
Yeah.
So did that feel like scoring as well?
Yeah, I guess similar. It was like, that was my first proper recorded, live coded thing. And actually you're right. I worked with a screen person.
Yeah, I read
Amy.
a little. Yeah, Amy. Yeah. And I read a little bit about it, and it was about, you looking at the video. So I wondered, did you work simultaneously, or was it like you got the video and then you made the music? And music is really interesting. It actually goes from ambient to a proper R&B.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. Like, it was really nice because you managed to blend those two genres really well.
Thank you. That's really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, those are my roots, to be honest. Like, I grew up on R&B, and then I think just more recently, or like, in the last 5-6 years, that's when I really got into ambient and more electronic sounds and stuff. But my basis is, some Destiny Child, some R&B, some Erica, some D'Angelo, R.I.P.
Oh my goodness.
And a lot of soul music and stuff. So thank you for noticing. That's really cool.
How, I feel like that's at least what I can do for the interview, but it's also like I'm genuinely interested, like in the pathway and like how, what were the steps that you did, and like what did you do, and how did you got landed to this point? So you have now this workshop coming up, and you've done the scoring. I guess how much energy, like for this workshop in particular, I feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because live coding in music performance is still quite a niche thing, although it's been around for a long time among sound artists and like experimental art scene. But now bringing it to MES, which is, an establishment of electronic music sound here, like I feel like it's a big step. So how do you feel about it? Like, are you nervous?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
I'm nervous, but I'm also really excited. And, someone told me it's the same thing, like nervous and excitement. It's actually the same physiological thing in your body, which is crazy. So it's just a framing thing. But absolutely, like I think, I've done workshops and workshop facilitation for quite a while. But I think I think we're doing 9 workshops in 6 weeks. And to do that, completely with basically my vision, but also with heaps of support from Mel Huang, who's an amazing creative technologist. It just feels, really big, but also such an honor to do it at MES. Like you said, they're so nice and amazing and like the cornerstone of synthesizers and, you know what I mean? Like they symbolize a really beautiful place for me. And before MES, like, I don't know, I was sort of intimidated by synthesizers and analog synths, and I thought it would be a bro zone. You know what I mean? I thought it would just be like white bros the whole way and like really intimidating. But then I did a workshop there and I was like, damn, okay, this place is like the rainbow. It's beautiful here.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's like heaps of femmes and like gender diverse people and they're so welcoming. So yeah, I feel like I've done all their courses there.
Oh, really?
And yeah.
Wow.
Basically, synth start, professional development.
I just done the synth start as well.
So good. How do you
And same,
like
I
it?
completely resonate with what you're saying because it's like, I was like, what is this? Oh my goodness, And then it's like, no, it's just like a toy with which you can play.
Exactly. And it's not that deep, but it also is really deep if you want to look into it.
Yeah.
But like the way I think they teach it and share it is so inspiring, and I guess has really informed my practice. And those same principles I hope will go into this course of just like openness and it's sort of half residency, half course, because we'll be learning together in an interesting way.
Yeah, and there's going to be a performance at the end, or like, okay. Yeah, I'm very excited to, I don't know if it's going to be open for public, but it would be cool to see the results. Because
for sure.
I do struggle to explain to people your performance. What is a live code,
Me too.
You do, and like how do you go about it? What do you say?
What do I say? I think it's like definitely developed over time. But I basically say, this is the spiel.
Okay, on this elevator pitch.
Are you ready?
You should do it in the elevator.
We should go to the elevator.
It's a slow elevator, so you can do an essay over there.
I was really waiting. I was like, this thing's gonna make me late. But so I say that I use computer programming code to generate the sound of my performance. And instead of twiddling knobs of like a synthesizer, I type in different numbers.
Okay.
So I do it a bit more manually on stage.
So to have an example, like if you want to filter out something, instead of turning the knob of the filter, high pass, low pass, you and you're doing it in Sonic P, is that right?
Yeah, Sonic Pi. And it looks the same. But I usually use Sonic Pi, but I'm moving to Strudel now.
Okay.
Which is another language. Okay. There's quite a few live coding programs and languages, and they're all free and open source.
Yeah, that's what I understand about it.
Which is amazing. Like it's much cheaper than a synthesizer, and you can apply all the synthesis principles and work with sound waves and do all the filters and everything if you want, which is really cool. It's a cheaper alternative.
That's great.
That's so cool.
That's really cool. And last year you had a really big, I guess, year, you had your debut album, Technofro 185.
Yay.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And it really was praised, highly praised everywhere. And I feel like it was really, I don't know, I feel like, looking at your career, reading about you and like looking at the work that you've, made public, it feels like you've been doing a lot of work for quite a long time, like relatively long time. But that everything came together with this album. And you mentioned in one of your interview for Mix Mag with Farah, you mentioned that one of the tracks, and I'm not sure if I can, Tezakaye?
Tezataye. Yeah.
That, it's about sort of it means nostalgia.
Yeah.
But it's about actually showing others like, hey, this is how far I've come, And the way I listened to the track, I watched the video as well. Great work.
Thank you.
I also wondered, does that come from a place where you feel like you haven't been supported as an artist?
That's a really good question. Yeah, I think in some ways, like when I was younger, I didn't have that much confidence to pursue creativity and like, come from an ethnic family, go the science route, go the engineering,
major
the law.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know.
So that went into that decision. So a little bit of that is like not a lack of support, I would say, not outward, but maybe not the same, like definitely go follow this creative path, not the push to follow creativity, because I don't know, it's a bit more unstable, and it's not the most secure path. So there was definitely that. And then I remember one of my teachers in high school told me to like just quit. He's like, oh, you haven't started doing music now, but you dream of like doing singing or whatever. And he was like, nah, don't do it, like just quit now. And that like lit my fire, man. It lit my
I'm
fire.
glad that it lit your fire.
Thank
not
you.
like exhausted, like execute whatever.
Yeah, like extinguish.
Yeah, extinguish.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah.
word, not
Exhausted that fire.
Yeah, execute.
But for real, same thing, what I mean?
That's really bad. That's not a good teacher.
I know, but
What
there's so many teachers out there and people that like as soon as you maybe share your dreams, they might tell you not to go about it or like follow them. And that's really sad, but it's quite like, heaps of my friends have similar stories of this person, that person, maybe teachers in their past, like having that same vibe of like, nah, don't do it. So there's that. But I think also just, I had a lot of stage fright, to be honest. And so I wasn't my biggest supporter for so long. Like I have been singing my whole life since I was really little, and it's been such a therapeutic me thing. But I was just so shy. Like I only got over my stage fright because I went back to school a few years ago for music performance finally.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I don't follow my dreams, who's gonna do it for me?
Exactly.
I have to do it. And I don't want to wake up in 10 years, 20 years and regret all of what I haven't done.
Amen.
Like
I know. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. You literally have to stand for yourself, like completely blindly almost trust in what you are doing.
Absolutely. And you can't look outward, because that's where it becomes really unstable.
Yeah.
And maybe one person will say, oh, that wasn't for me, or someone else will do this or that. And then it just breaks you. Like you really do have to look inward and like be your own biggest supporter. And I'm still learning that though. Like, I don't know, confidence is such an up and down journey.
Especially when you're exposing yourself, and being vulnerable, through every single thing that you're doing. So does that mean that you know, you really self-identify a lot with, is everything that you do as new sort of what you are as a person? Is it you know, your identity as Fiddler?
I don't know. I think so. Like, I think I am most myself when I'm singing, and like that whole project Technopho 185, like I've been consciously and unconsciously working on it for the last 6-7 years, you know what I mean? And it's like a product of all those improv jams and like flow state moments where I'm just fully myself. And so in that way, I do feel like new is me, like it's my story, and it's like my spirit, I guess. But yeah, who knows? I'm constantly changing as well, and like I wonder if I'll ever use another alias for a different project, if it will stop feeling like new. But for now, new is still very much me, and it comes from like my nickname at home, which was Nunu.
Nunu.
Yeah.
Why Nunu?
I don't know. It's just like a Ethiopian one. But it's also, I think, the name of the vacuum cleaner from Teletubbies.
Oh yeah, my goodness.
Just so cute.
I did watch Teletubbies. I don't remember Nunu, but okay.
Yeah. I think there's a Nunu in there.
Oh yeah, I think we have to.
Maybe my parents.
Yeah. Quick break with quick break for an ad. Okay.
Okay.
Change. Okay. Yeah, we will have a little bit. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I forgot about planes.
That's okay. This is DIY.
I love it.
So
still pretty professional, though, I must say. I like it.
Well, you have to. I have those questions as well, but you sort of have to fake it until you make it, and I think it's that saying sounds far much worse than the reality, which is like you really have to trust in yourself, like, and be confident even when you're not.
I know.
And then, you know, you're telling me all this, like I'm not surprised that there are confident issues, because I feel like very often when you see an artist on stage, or just an artist who's really active and successful, there's so many insecurities in the back, right?
Absolutely.
But then, you know, you made a huge leap. You're now artist full time. That's like, bravo. That's like, I'm so happy. When I read, I was like, you know, I know you majored in math. I know you took the science part. I also know that you've been a facilitator, like doing a lot of workshops for the youth. But then, yeah, what do you feel like it was incremental? When did it happen? Tell me, you know, did you just wake up and like, okay, I have to do this? Or...
Yeah. Well, like, it was definitely incremental. I think it's just that need and that want to make music or like share music just kept growing in me. So like, I couldn't suppress it any longer, basically. But my whole life I've dreamt of singing. Like, I was so obsessed with American Idol, Australian Idol. Like, I watched every season of American Idol. Like, I would just watch it all day. I think
Did you dream about going there?
Like, I was just like manifesting like I'll be about. Although maybe that's not my scene now. I know reality TV is a bit.
Okay, usually they're like,
no longer. Now I know a bit better. But yeah, I just like, those are my dreams of like singing in front of people and sharing it, because it was always like so personal. And yeah, in some ways I felt like I, you know, in uni, blah, blah, like it felt like I was giving up on my dreams a little bit, even though I'm glad I finished my degree. I'm very grateful I have it, and it taught me how to work hard.
Taught you also how to understand codes.
Yeah.
You know, like some basics of the code.
For sure. Like, that's in a weird way. I've really used my maths degree now. And sometimes all those mini steps that you think are useless, like, they're really useful. Yeah. Even facilitating, I think it was really hard at first doing public speaking. Like, it was like my worst nightmare. I was so shy. But then that's really helped me on stage now, that I can talk to an audience and, you know, maybe say a joke or, yeah, it helped with my stage fright in a really indirect, well, actually quite direct.
I think it's quite intentional, although I sort of, you know, I'm sort of not believing in luck, which I'm still not on, you know, still trying to figure out if that's really what I'm, I don't know where I'm at.
More,
but like I just feel, because I also have a engineering background and PhD in computer science, yet I'm doing music, right?
Yeah.
And then, but everything that I'm using right now to build sound installations, for example, actually is using technology that is in geospatial engineering, where I majored, like what I finished. And then in the computer science, it's all about music technology, etc. But it didn't even feel like I was the same, you know, thinking, oh, you know, I'm now using all of that. I also thought that I'm like lost, but then I'm now figuring it out, and now talking to you and like talking to other people that have similar, you know, sort of very rhizomatic pathways in their careers and lives. I feel like you've been working towards getting to this place where you're at right now. It's not accidental. Yes, it was very subtle and slow burner, but now, you know, I feel like going into one practice made you learn a lot about maths, for example, and like facilitation. And instead of giving up on it and being superficial about it, you actually went really deep into it. You finished it.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay, how can I, you know, sort of redirect that energy?
For sure.
I don't know if I'm explaining this
No,
right.
you are. But it's like that sort of that realization that, yeah, you might do the degree that seems completely unrelated, or you might do this job that feels really unrelated. Like even I worked in bars and stuff, just even talking to people and like getting to meet more creative people, that was really important for me. And yeah, even your whole background, that sounds incredible. Like I'm sure it's so useful for problem solving, for installation.
It's all about, I think,
concepts. Yeah.
Well, you said, you know, your entire life you wanted to do music. I think that's in the back, you know, like that was in the back of your head the entire time. That was in your heart the entire time, which means that, you know, you were actually focused.
Yeah.
Like you were, every time you would talk to people in bars, you would probably hear what you wanted to hear about, you know, what they're chasing, the questions that you've asked those questions. When you're studying maths, maybe you were focusing on some other things. I sort of feel like, you know, if you really know what you want to do, somehow you will pick those fruits from wherever you are.
Yeah.
From whatever you're doing.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't know. Probably at the moment where you're doing it, you're just like, what am I doing?
Yeah. It always feels confusing,
is this
right? There's always so much doubt. And
there's so much doubt. That's why I'm like, you know, you're now full-time artist. Are you always in doubt?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
It is quite hard. But like, it's just always learning. And like, you know, even though some steps felt really unrelated, like I still went back to school for music performance to build my confidence. And that was very directly like, okay, I don't have confidence, but I want to do this thing. What will fill this gap right now?
Okay.
And so I went back to school, like TAFE, actually, Melbourne Polytechnic Music Performance. Love those people.
Okay.
They're really amazing. But yeah, like that was direct. But even though I did take some of the right steps that feel really directly related and some really unrelated, they all help me now. But yeah, like I don't know, even with a song, I'm sure most people relate, but maybe you relate, but like, is it ever done? You know?
Yeah.
Right? Like, is it ever perfect? There's no perfect. And there's always uncertainty, especially I think if you're like doing something like working for yourself in any way, but working for yourself in art where there's no answers, there's always uncertainty, there's always doubt.
But how do you deal with that uncertainty? Is it like, do you get into your head? Does it like, do you get, like feeling bad about it, feeling bad about yourself, about your work?
For sure. But how do I deal with it? I don't know. This year, like my intention or theme for the year is trust the process. And so it's like, for me, a reminder to just trust it a little bit more, and maybe also focus on process and away from outcome. Because when I'm thinking about the end goal, the outcome, how people receive or perceive the thing, that's when I get in my head. And that's when I'm like completely in doubt, uncertain, and not feeling as good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
But I need to work on it. I don't deal with uncertainty very well. You know what I mean? Or instability. And like, I'd love to say that it's such a stable, amazing, secure path, but it's always a risk being full time. Like sometimes, you know, the finances are okay, and sometimes they're not so okay. But that's what I've chosen.
Yeah,
and I would choose that any day over, right now at least, over like, giving away all of my time, which I think is really precious to me right
to other people's ideas.
To other people's
That's
ideas.
how I see it.
Exactly. Or other people that I don't want to collaborate with in that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you gave it. I think the only way to do anything is to actually create time for that thing. So I sort of, and I think this is also something that destroys me because I'm like so cruel in that sense. Like, but it's about, you know, you want something, well, do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
literally.
I feel like there's no excuse.
Yeah.
Like when I hear excuses, when I hear anything, like all the reasons, I'm like, those are all excuses. You're not daring to create space and just experiment. What is the worst thing that can happen? You get out of, like, there are things, you know, I understand you can not have enough money to pay rent. Then it's like, I understand, I'm not, you know, but have you actually tried? Like, are you only dwelling on the idea of like, oh, I could try art full time, but no, it's too hard. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's really great. I don't know. I just see there's so much potential when you create space to do those things. But I also think that, you know, in order to do it successfully, you have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And I feel like from, you know, you do a lot of different work.
Yeah.
It's all music related.
Yes.
But I can see, you know, you're scoring for a soundtrack of the movie, you're doing a workshop, you're performing live, you're doing commission pieces for, you know, City of Melbourne, or you've done also one performance for the Sydney Opera House. You performed at Phoenix in Sydney. So like there's a lot of, it feels like there's a lot of avenues where you're, I guess, maybe making money, but also like sustaining your career, not just financially. So I feel like you're disciplined. Well, good time management.
I'm glad. I'm glad you think that. But no, I think, you know, when I do look back on the last couple of years, like, I am quite busy, like blessed, thank God, like, oh, thank God. But I don't like discipline. I wonder, it could look very different to different people. I think I'm very good at working really hard in like small spouts, but I need like a good break. And I'm getting better at doing that. Otherwise I like burn out and like, I'm a stress head, and, you know, I'm trying to get a bit better with like, dealing with stress or grounding myself, even though there's like some, you know, like performances or this and that coming up, because I have this like need and want to make it perfect, but that doesn't exist. But discipline, I don't know, like, what does that look like? I guess if it's like something that you really enjoy doing or want to be doing, it's like sort of easier to be disciplined.
Yeah, like showing up.
Yeah, for sure, because you're showing up for yourself.
Exactly.
Like, if your work defines you, or not completely defines you, but if you really identify with your work and your art and see yourself in it, like, I don't know, you really want to show up. It's like the biggest motivation ever.
Yeah, but I think it's also the biggest trap. That's called burnt out. You know, like, you know, like it's burnout. It's like, I think that's the recipe. Well, I'm still finding a recipe for it where the outcome won't be burnout.
I know. How have you dealt with it? Because like you do installations and music too.
I don't know how am I
and you do the podcast. Like it seems like a lot.
well, this is the thing, right? Like it's all my projects. These are all my ideas or whatever, my seeds.
Yeah.
You know, and I just get so excited about that, and I'm like, I have this fear that my biggest nemesis is like time. I feel like if I don't act on this right this moment, so if I'm gonna, you know, it's gonna go away, something, you know, it will disappear, it's gonna be too late for me to do it. I'm gonna get too old, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I have an idea, I can't let it go.
Yeah. Wow.
And that causes me to like go into bad burnouts, and I can't stop. So the way I've been dealing with it, I guess I'm trying now to just do small steps on a daily basis. Like my first couple of hours in the morning, I don't interact with the phone. I'm trying to not interact with anyone, anything.
Yeah.
I only interact with my journal, and just trying to sort of get to a point where I know how this day will look like today. I'm also trying to do the same at night, like no phone in the bedroom, reading, just, you know, like I have no notifications on my phone. Nice. So like that was the barrier. Also not looking at emails over the weekend, not working the weekend. Well, I'm working the weekend now, but you know, like just those little things. But the biggest one that I'm trying to tackle is, and I wanted to ask you about it, is like control. I feel like control over the outcome, control of the process. I sort of can't let it go. I just feel like I get this, like, oh, I have to finish this tomorrow. This needs to be finished tomorrow. And then it's just like this anxious feeling, and then I'm like choking. I don't know. How are you trusting the process?
Well, that's why it's my word. That's why it's my phrase for the year, because I really want to work on that. Like, I think a sense of control is really good though. Like, it leads to, you know, something you're happy with most of the time, or like something you can be proud of, and it can really push you, I think. At least for me, that sense of control can really push me and be a motivator.
Okay.
But I'm trying to find, less burnout vibes, more rest. And so I need to let go of control a little bit.
Can you switch off? Like when you say rest, what is the, you know, let's say you're now feeling like you're in this stage where you're going to be burnt out at the end.
Yeah.
Do you do anything to just implement small rest points?
Yeah. I think when I'm like saying yes to projects or pieces of work or performances, I feel like, I'm getting better at planning it in my calendar. I live by my calendar, by the way.
And is it like a written thing? Like like
no, GCal.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's written, I will lose it.
Okay.
I will forget about it. I need it in the cloud. You know what I mean? Where I can find it from any device.
Yeah, it finds you.
It finds me. Exactly.
Yeah.
But rest is a big one for me. I think I'm finding, like when I was really busy, I was sort of isolating myself just to work. And I thought that was good because I'm like, hey, I'm getting more work done. And socializing is really tiring for me, blah, blah, blah. I made up all these stories, But honestly, I've been coming back to just like hanging out with my friends more, who I love so much. And I'm finding that restful because when I'm with my friends, I forget about work sometimes.
Okay, that's good.
Especially like the one-on-one intimate ones, or like going camping, or more of those wholesome activities, not necessarily around drinking. Sometimes I go out and sometimes you just need a big dance, right?
Exactly.
That can also release the stress from your body. But I find now that socializing, reconnecting with my people is like really restful. Going away to nature, walks. But ideally I like organize my big projects so that the deadlines are sort of in a similar space, and then I get like a good week off.
So you actually have like a moment where like, oh, I have, you know, several deadlines right now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because that can be quite stressful as well.
For sure.
Like not having any, I guess, lead time, like any free time in between projects.
Nah, for real. But I make sure like now, because I sort of have like a little bit more power over deadlines or suggesting when things will be done. Like I'm getting better at planning them sort of in like the same month maybe. So then I know I have like a good week or 2 weeks off.
Okay.
Just to relax.
That's actually like a tactic.
Yeah.
Like a strategy.
Yeah.
Strategy that actually allows you to get time, have time.
Otherwise it never ends. But I need to even book in holidays. You know, like a camping trip away or going overseas, like somewhere close, like, or even, just
Saying no.
saying no. Oh my God, that's powerful too. I've been a bit better last year
Okay, bra.
with saying no. I think that's also a thing.
It
I
is.
think when you're trying to build something, it's also sort of like part of it to say yes to everything at the start.
Yeah.
But then you start saying no, and that is also really empowering. I think that's when I found a little bit more like, actually, I don't have to do this. And my future self will really love me right now if I said no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you feel like guilty, or sometimes if you're like saying no, like or if you're like not doing enough, do you have those situations? Like I'm just trying to figure out if this is, you know, since I've been just doing art full time.
Yeah.
It's just like these feelings are there every day. Like, oh, you know, should I hustle more? Or should I also do this? Or like, when an opportunity arises, you're like, can I say no? Like, I'm just emerging. No one knows about me.
I know. Well, it just really depends. Hey, like, I think the ones I say no to are either if I just don't have capacity, like, if I said yes, I would be so stressed out of my mind because of everything else that I couldn't do a good job.
Yeah.
Or like I could just see myself like having a little mentee bee, you know, over just having too much on.
Yeah.
In those cases, I say no when it's just too much.
But that's wise. That's
Yeah.
like a wise, wise person saying.
Thank you. But it's come from the mentee bees, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, actually, I can't keep doing this. Like,
Yeah,
it's too
much. Yeah, you sort of have to burn yourself out a few times.
to.
Yeah. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned. And it's many times of the mentee
And
bees.
it's still gonna be many of them.
Of course.
You know, you do a lot of different. You have many different avenues where your art lives, but then there are also many different avenues where labor works in the music and general art, right? Like we're talking all about admin, hustle, promotion, management, correspondence, booking, publishing.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about all that?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I guess the first question is, do you work alone?
No. Thankfully I work with my friend Yang,
Okay.
who's my agent. Shout out to Yang. A cast agency, which is also just like a really close friend, and so has been there since the beginning. But we've been working together for a couple of years. So she handles my booking.
Okay.
And it was like a blended model of like management support booking kind of thing, which was really, really amazing and helpful just to have someone to talk to. Because I think that's half of it, right? Like just having a second eye on this or that, and like a confidant, you know what I mean? Like someone you can just G up with real quick, like, hey, I got a question, like, what do you reckon?
Yeah.
Especially when you're like building up your discernment and understanding of where you want to go, how you want things to,
100.
pan out. But I manage myself at the moment, and yeah, like I feel like I've, from my consulting background, like pretty good at organizing stuff. Got my Miro board, my strategy, my little thing.
Is that like a Miro board, like a manifestation board? Really?
No, I need to do that though.
No, I'm curious. Like, what do you have on your Miro board? Like, if you want to share something.
I really love planning, so I think I've got, what do I have? I've got like some dream gigs that I want to do, and I have like a every month calendar and like some of my bigger deadline-y things coming in, and maybe some big plans of when I want to write my next work, or like work on music stuff like more intensely, because I actually do, I think now I understand my process a little bit better. I think I do find it hard to do little bits of music here and there, but rather I need just peace and quiet and like deep time, you know, over this week I'm going away to do this, or you know what I mean? So I want to manifest more residencies this year, because I realize that my vibe, and I haven't done many at all. So
well, manifesting residency also means applying for residency.
I know.
Which also means updating your biography, your electronic press kit, having good videos, having good, right?
Literally. So that part I find really difficult. I'm really good at the planning and like have good motivation to apply for grants and that kind of thing. But promoting, like I need to send you all some pictures or something. You know what I mean? I need to update my biopics. All of these things are in the back of my head, but I just put them low on my priority list. But I think promotion, or at least just sharing some of my process, is a goal of mine this year. And finding a way that I find it natural to share my work, because I don't know what it is. It's part of that shyness or that stage fright or perception and vulnerability.
But it's also like, you know, so when you say, you know, promotion, like sharing your process, for example, am I right in thinking that you're talking about social media?
Yes.
So the way I think about it is like, fuck that. Oh, wait.
Yes,
So first of all, fuck that. But then the second thing is like, this is how I see it.
Yeah.
This, you know, this platform, all these platforms, you know, you're an artist who do work live coding music. It does not in any point, in any moment, it involves video. And you're pressured to sort of translate your process in a video. It's a different medium. There are video artists. I know this is very much like, you know, fuck you to the social media aspect. I know. But I'm like,
it feels unnatural.
So it's unnatural to begin with. Because if you loved video, you would be doing the video.
Literally.
You would be a video artist, not a music artist.
Literally.
Or, you know, sound artist.
Yeah.
So I feel like feeling uncomfortable, it's completely normal. It's not like that you're doing bad or like you're not good enough or like it's and then you know, I go on social media and see all these, I cringe so much. Right? It's hard to find your voice. You have to find your voice. But I think it's okay. Now I've vented out.
Hey, I love this
because when you said, you know, maybe you're shy. I'm like, no, you can still stay shy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I don't want you. You shouldn't change because of something that's mainstream.
Yeah.
But then I think the positive twist there is like how can I, you know, survive in this climate, because everything else, like everything that I just said, is pretty much like suicide, like career suicide.
Yeah.
Or I'd be like, fuck you, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to find that voice, and I think it is a point of like, okay, so how do I want to tell this story? I don't want to follow what everyone is doing, because then everyone is doing it, so no one will watch this.
Exactly.
Like the only thing that you carry, and each one of us, is being authentic, like being ourselves, being shy on camera. Sorry, this was now my spiel.
No, don't say sorry.
I get really like heated about this, because I really just, you know, sometimes I would see artists that I respect, and then they, you know, have those videos that I really don't respect, and then it really changes the view of. I'm like, hey, don't do that, you know?
Right?
But yeah, it's hard.
I'm just trying to work out that balance. Like you said, like it feels inauthentic sometimes to like present myself in maybe other ways that people present themselves. Like, but at the same time, it's really important to share your work, because then people know what's up, or they feel more connected to your work and your process. And I enjoy watching content where people are sharing some of their work.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, how do I stay authentic? And is something I'm trying to figure out. Have you worked it out?
I think I'm getting better now this year. It's like I just figured out I'm just gonna film everything that I'm doing. I actually heard once I was at some sort of meetup and someone said, just like film your process. And I was like, well, my process, I don't know. Sometimes it takes hours. I'm just like zooming in on the waveform, like there's nothing, like nothing happened. You know what I mean? But sometimes I have this moment where it's like, wow, great, but it's in my head. It's not visible. But now I'm just like filming myself as much as I got this camera, just filming myself, like having rehearsals at home. I don't know, just trying to film things while I'm doing that without any plans. Because I think last year I was like, oh, I have to plan this, and then I think that's where I started to feel really sort of shame, like, oh, I'm planning this too much. This is taking too much space, like mental space also. And now I'm just like, I'm just gonna film and then have one day every fortnight. Okay, let me see what the footage is. Can I turn it into content? And then doing that ahead of time.
Okay.
But look, I still haven't started publishing, like putting out anything for this year. I think it's just about considering it as part of your work. And because there's really no way around it. I don't think. And when you say, how your process, how to film your process, maybe it's just about getting a small camera and getting into the practice of filming, literally just putting in somewhere, filming it every day, maybe changing the position and then seeing if that can be, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I know.
Do you like put time aside to make content or like edit things together like once a week? Do you have a little routine?
Yeah.
I think that might help me.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, do you have a routine?
With my creative work?
With your work, with your, when you wake up, like, okay.
No. It changes every day, but actually I've realized, I always thought I'm not a morning person. Okay. And then I've realized that there was a section of time where I was waking up at 7:30 every day. Okay. And, having that slow morning, not looking at my phone, doing my morning pages, like reading, and just slowly starting the day. And all of a sudden I was less stressed.
And you were a morning person.
But I'm trying to get back there, even just slowly trying to wake up earlier, even if it feels like it hurts a little bit. Because I feel like naturally I like staying up late, and sometimes if there's a big deadline and I need to make work for it, I do find that I can, work quite hard from 5 p.m. to after 5 p.m. So it's finding that balance. But not really a routine, but I'm trying to be in my body more and out of my head. And I think like light exercise helps me. But it's forming. That process is slowly forming. But I think morning might be good. And sleep tea at night. If I have my sleep tea, I'm happy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got into teas. Recently, a few years ago, also sleep teas, and I was like, what is this? Like you get sleep like this sometimes. I'm like, wow.
I'm like, no one told me about this. I could just be knocked out. They're great.
Exactly. Yeah, it's really crazy. Yeah. But do you, I'm still interested in some like, I feel like, not everyone maybe wants to answer this, but you're a full-time artist, which means that you can sustain yourself financially. How is the process? How do you feel about the process of, I know it's like up and down, of course. Yeah. It's really, unstable in that sense. But how do you feel about artist fees, and how is that? I guess the first question is, do you think that, do you always have to negotiate and have that just uncomfortable situation?
No.
Is it still uncomfortable?
For sure. I think like it's really helped me to work with Yang, especially for my music bookings, because otherwise my rate would have been stayed the same for the last 3 years. You know what I mean?
I know. There's a reason why the artist needs agent.
I didn't even know how to negotiate, and in fact felt a bit bad about asking for more.
Especially, in this niche industry, I'm guessing you know everyone.
Well, I mean, not everyone, but
like
I do know,
it's always like a mutual friend of a friend, and then is it a friendly price?
You know what I mean?
I know.
And so all of those feelings, and if it's a community event or charity, whatever, I'm so down. I'm always down for that kind of thing, because those gigs make me feel really good, and feel like more of a community practice.
Yeah.
So it depends. But then if it's like an institution or like a bigger thing, I think now, just after seeing Yang negotiate as well, I understand what it means to negotiate and what the different rates sort of mean. And also you could probably get paid for an interstate gig, but there's so many things that go into it, like maybe costuming, flights, if you're with Jetstar and get fined a couple of times on the way there and back with all your music equipment.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Did you try to, I actually managed to hide my equipment
How?
between people when I was traveling to Dark Morpho, and I was like,
Oh my
no, I'm not
God,
going to pay. I'm not going to pay any extra. I don't want to have. And then I sort of smuggled. I met some people in the queue, and I was like, hey, can you please help me? And I managed to do it. I was like, whoa, I can't believe it was a whole suitcase that I did it. But that was just once. Then I paid a few times.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm done, man. I'm done. But all of those are hidden prices, and accommodation, getting to and from places.
Food. What I mean? You have to eat before your gig.
Exactly.
Do you want me to faint?
Right.
Yeah.
So all of those things really add up, and so the fee is really not the fee. And so I think just over time you get more confident with estimating how much things actually take, and how much things, or how much money is actually going to be in your pocket at the end.
Yeah.
But I'm still not good at negotiating. It's
difficult to have a person. I think that's it's also someone else can be objective, and that's the whole role of the agent, not just hustling for more further gigs, but it's just about removing you from because you're very subjective. You don't look at that as work, although it's full-time work. There's a lot of labor,
of course.
It's not just, and it's performance. And I think it's the society, it's just embedded in the society that it's a fun activity rather than actual work.
But it's a lot, and even just grant applications, all these other things, that's a full-time job.
That we're surrounded by animals.
Nice. Good on them. Good on them. They're thriving. Yeah. But that's full-time admin and stuff. I think I'm really good at negotiating artist fees for other people though, because again, it's less about you and more this just has to be it. It's more objective. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You see the workshops.
Yeah. You get it. Yeah. Anyways, it's hard though. How do you find it?
Really hard.
Right?
Yeah, it's always whatever I say, it's not good. You know what I mean? Not on the other end, but I feel bad.
Yeah.
Whenever I do a price, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a reasonable price, and then I send it off in an email. I'm like, oh no, it's not good.
And then if they accept straight away, it's just
and then I'm like,
fuck, I should ask for more.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really,
you never know.
And I'm trying to, be a friend to myself, because I really am not good at that. And I think that would be my thing for this year is being a friend for myself, being there as a sidekick rather than be a judge, critic.
Yeah.
And it's just hey, I think it's important to do this and be sometimes have a higher price because, I think it's also important for the promoters and others to know this is not free work.
Exactly.
This is supposed to be paid.
Exactly.
And I'm oh, you're doing a good thing for others. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm the same. It's pretty much really always uncomfortable. You just have to, you just have to do it. It's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There's
but
no-
you grew up in an Ethiopian household. How is your family? And your family runs a restaurant in Footscray.
Yes, Rasta. Shout out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there eat. You know.
Yes, please come.
Yeah, I don't think I've had Ethiopian food yet. Maybe once if there's a restaurant here somewhere in Collingwood.
Yeah, there might
Like
be.
ages ago, but yeah.
Now we're the best. We're the best.
And
the reviews say so too. I must say.
I'm there tomorrow.
Nice.
Like what do they think about, your career right now, your career choices? Are they supportive?
Yeah, definitely. They're so supportive. Maybe a little confused at times of like, how do you make money? Are you okay with that stuff? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. There's definitely ups and downs, but I think, they're super supportive, and that's all that matters. Like, I did my recital for school at the end of 2023, and that was the first time I ever sang in front of them. I've been shy, man. When I say shy,
because you said you've been singing your entire life.
Yeah, but for myself, like
that's really
in hiding at school and in my room, and it's just been such a big dream of mine. But that was the first time I sang in front of them, and I think since that moment, I had a full band. It was like one of my favorite gigs ever till this day. All my friends were there, and it just felt like I was there. I was very present and worked so hard to get to that point.
Nice.
When they were there and they were really happy and they cried and I cried. And I think since that moment, they're like, okay, you do your thing. It's fine. They've been so supportive. And they came to China with me. I went to China for like a live coding conference.
Oh, I saw that conference. I don't know why I didn't know that it was in China.
Like, in Shanghai. And I'd never been to China. It was like so amazing. And it was my first international gig too. And so grateful to like meet other live coders from other countries for the first time. That, my parents were like, we're coming to China. And I was like, so we had a little family trip, and my brother as well.
Cool.
Bless him.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So I've been very lucky. I've been very lucky.
That's really nice. And how do you feel? Do you feel connected with? Like, do you speak the language? Do you go back ever? Have you been to your homeland?
I've been 3 times. Like when I was 5 and 12, and I think 15 or something. So I haven't been back in nearly 15 years. Hey, that's crazy. But I want to really go back once the conflict calms down a little bit in my mum's area. I think it's okay in the city, so I can still go to the city. But I'd like to go back. But Amharic is my first language. My parents, bless them, I'm really happy they did this, but they only spoke to me and my brother in Amharic. And then we went to kindergarten and primary school here, and that's when we learned English. Which is, like I'm fluent in English and I think in English now actually, but I'm really grateful to have my language and to understand my language. I'm able to speak with, or I was able to speak with my grandparents and my whole family when we went back home.
Yeah, over there,
and like some of my music is in Amharic.
And you still speak with your parents at home, like I'm guessing?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes, some English words come in a bit broken here and there, but...
They probably say, no.
They don't laugh at me. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, like when I speak with my... I'm here with my partner, but in my entire family, everyone is back in Croatia. So when I speak like over video, or like when I go back to Croatia, I'm just really trying hard not to use, English words here and there, but sometimes it's just hard. I feel like some parts of my identity are now, sort of, molding or like getting those English parts inside, and it's really hard to then even express yourself. Not entirely. I've been here only for like 6 years.
No, for sure.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
No, yeah.
I feel like but it is like something rich. I feel like, and it's really good that you know, can speak the language. I think that's like such a rich thing that like it would be really much harder right now.
For sure. So I've always been so grateful for it because, yeah, I wasn't even born in Ethiopia, but I have been given this gift of my language and connection to my culture that, you know, has shown up in my music, but more so just my life. Like, I'm just so grateful to have it. And language can open up, different personalities even. Like, you feel it like two different parts of yourself, or your expansion pack.
So well said. Yeah, I agree. I really think that it's so cool. Well, one last question, I'd say, or maybe two.
Yeah, go on.
What was the best advice that you were ever given?
Wow.
If you can recall.
I haven't thought about this in ages, but my friend Chi, I'm pretty sure it was Chi, we were just talking about work, and like, we're both perfectionists, and actually me and Chi Tran, who is a poet and like a beautiful singer and a violinist, we performed together for the first time, or like that was my first proper performance, and we did a couple like singing together, and we're very similar and like perfectionist, shy, and like that kind of thing is so good. Very healing for me to share that experience with someone else. But she told me, I think it was before sharing my EP, she said like work needs to live in the world, because I was just and like grow in the world. And what she meant was, I don't know, I was just so shy about sharing something that felt undone or unfinished. And I didn't know if it would ever feel finished because I was such a critic on my own work and myself. But she was like, no, it needs to be shared and it needs to grow in the world and to be, you know, like perceived by other people who can maybe resonate with it and add to it. But yeah, it needs to live on past you. You need to give it life by sharing it. Or more life. And I have felt really connected to that, I think. And it's helped me like let go of things feeling done. Because I don't think they ever feel done.
No. Wow, that's so nice. Yeah.
What about you?
I think, okay, just the one that I'm thinking right now is like, it was actually from a book that I've read last year. It's called Daring Greatly.
Yeah. Renee Brown or something?
Yeah, Renee Bronte or something. Yeah, she had a TED Talk.
Yeah.
As well. I think it was just, I think we mentioned this in the podcast, in our conversation. I think it was, I always just felt, it's similar to you. Maybe that's why it reminded me. I don't know, I always, you know, she was talking about, you know, whenever you create something and it can be anything, not necessarily art, and you give it to people, you know, it's like getting into this arena, you know, surrounded in this amphitheater where, you know, everyone can say something, of course.
Yeah.
But it's also about, you know, this act of vulnerability. And I think this resonates more with art, like, and actually, you know, expressing yourself without any barriers and without any fakeness, I guess. Like really being honest about it is actually a really brave thing to do, but it's also something that the only thing that I guess can do something to people.
Yeah.
And nothing else can change, you know, or affect people, or like, I don't know. Yes. And I remember when I read that, I was like, yeah, I guess, you know, because sometimes I wonder, you know, what's the point of anything that I'm doing? Like, why am I doing this, you know? And I know this is not the best question. It's a bit, you know, existential, but I am inclined to asking myself that question often. And then I feel, you know, sometimes I had people coming over to me and saying, hey, you know, I was really touched by your work, or I was really emotional, resonated. And yeah, that's when I realized that, you know, yes, I feel, you know, sometimes I really feel bad and exposed when I'm sharing, but I guess I do want to attract people who will accept that. Like, I don't know. So every time I feel like that, I'm just thinking, okay, so I hope if I'm really staying honest that at least someone else will hear that, and maybe, I don't know, it will, you know, make a connection.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
I really love that. I love how both of ours is about sharing.
Yeah, it is, because yeah, when you were saying that, I felt like it actually, sometimes I even wonder, you know, because you do, I'm sure that when you're creating, you feel something. You feel a lot of things, right? Sometimes it's just like this, like amazing drug or something, right? It's very visceral. But I also wonder, you know, I really do feel like the work that you do will only exist when it's shared, when people are present at your performances, because it is very tangible, palpable, visceral. You know, you're live coding while you're singing. It's like, I don't know, it needs to get out there, out of your room, out of your head, out of your heart. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's really.
So I'm glad that you've listened to your friend and didn't, you know, shy away.
Yeah, me too. Because it also adds to your experience of the work once you let people in.
Yeah, I feel like it doesn't end with people. It actually goes back to you. And I think that's the tricky part. You know how often artists are like making the first record and they're like, you know, so innocent. They make it and it's the best record. And then they struggle with the second one. I think it's because when they put it out, they got feedback, and the feedback is like messing up with the head. And you were talking about it, you know, with the outcome. And it's really hard.
It is. And I think after the first work, I don't know, there's a bit of a grief as well, because it leaves you. It's like you had a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
it's letting go. Like, that's a good practice of letting go of the control, maybe.
For sure. So I think you just need a rest for a while and collect more stories for the next one. Like, you know, more research, all the things. But yeah, I think after doing that first one and getting feedback, it is interesting how you let that feedback define your practice or not define your practice. Does it change anything? I don't know. You question a lot of things. Why am I doing this? Yeah. The existentialism comes in.
So the essentialism is the worst. Right. But I guess you can look at it as a challenge. Like, when I wake up positive, when I'm like, no, it's a challenge.
Yes.
It's a challenge. But sometimes, it's just like, oh my goodness, why?
Right.
I just want to, you know, send a few emails and feel like I accomplished something.
So true.
So
true. Same.
Well, Fetwa, I'm really glad that you took the time to meet with me. I'm so honored and happy, and I hope you had a good time too.
I really did. I'm honored and happy. Thank you so much for having me. Yay! I'm not flexible.
I'm not flexible either.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, we should. I just want to do one like Instax photo.